Well, 10 months of hard work starts right here for Liverpool. It is new pre-season. It's a new look Liverpool as well, as they play the first game of their pre-season campaign. And as we hear the Thai national anthem. It's a stadium that holds just short of 50,000 people, the Raja Mangala National Stadium. It's not quite full, but there is a huge following of Liverpool supporters here, as you'd expect. And it's always fever pitch when Liverpool roll into town, and it is very much a new look Liverpool that we see tonight. Plenty of new faces on show. Some of the old guard has made way. Kolo Toure leading Liverpool tonight. We're going to see most of the new arrivals. Of course, some are still having extended summer breaks after playing through the summer. The man alongside me who's seen plenty of pre-seasons down the years, maybe not quite as hot and humid as this one in Bangkok, is Mark Lawrenson.
Yeah, I've played here a couple of times, and you can notice there on the shot of all of our players sweating straight away. They haven't done anything, so that tells you it's more the humidity than the heat. But I tell you what a fantastic way to get fit for the new season. Managers love coming to these places because the heat and humidity does the job for them in terms of getting the players fit.
It's a little different these days as well, isn't it? The players aren't allowed to let themselves go as much as perhaps they did back in the old days.
Well, I think players are much better now anyway. And you know, you talk about kind of off-season, pre-season. Generally, the modern-day footballer doesn't really get unfit. And another way of looking at it, most of these lads as well, they've probably got gyms at home at the very, very least. So, in terms of getting them fit again to the standard that they were at the end of last season, actually isn't that much work.
Well, Liverpool, of course, have played here plenty of times over the last few seasons. They have been successful on all but one of the visits to Bangkok. Well, tonight they take on the true Thailand Premier League All-Star 11. Now, in the last couple of months they've taken on Chelsea and Reading. Only 3 or 4 of those players have actually played in those games. Look out for Mika at the back, who committed a couple of pretty X-rated tackles when they played Chelsea back in May. Well, they do have plenty of talent on show. For Liverpool, this is the more important lineup. Of course, with the new arrivals, the likes of Adam Bogdan, Joe Gomez and Danny Ings all starting in the first half. We will see a different Liverpool in the second period.
Yeah, but I think, you know, from the players' point of view, obviously the new boys feel that they've got a point to prove. Plus, of course, you know, when you sign for a football club, especially one like Liverpool, one of the big clubs, is you walk in the dressing room and you want to be accepted straight away. Now, there's 2 ways you're doing it. One is your character, personality, and the other one, of course, is what you do on the pitch.
2 other notable returnees for Liverpool today as well are Jordan Rossiter in the heart of midfield and João Carlos Teixeira. Both missed plenty of football, of course, last season through injury. Jordan Rossiter with a knee problem that he picked up pretty much at the end of January, and João Carlos Teixeira broke his leg back in April, and it's pretty amazing to see him out there today.
Yeah, but again, that's another thing now, is that if you think about broken legs in the day, lots of people actually even finish playing football. Nowadays, it's absolutely nothing. The big one, of course, is the ACL, which a lot of the players have had. But if you said to somebody, would you rather have a broken leg or an ACL, you'd have a broken leg all day long, as Irish as that sounds.
Well, the knee ligaments, the cruciate ligament, which was the career ender, wasn't it, back in the 80s and before, nowadays is 4, 5, 6 months or maybe a little more. It's a big day for these Thailand players. They do take on plenty of Premier League sides. Tonight they take on Brendan Rodgers and his new look Liverpool.
I thought Brendan was stripped to play for a minute when I just saw his first sighting of him. Now look how hot Brendan is.
Well, it is 90 degrees inside the stadium. That's the actual air temperature. Inside the stadium it's even hotter.
It will be, don't worry about that.
There's the man who goes by the name of Zico around these parts, Kiatisuk Senamwang. As we say, they do take on plenty of Premier League sides, but they rarely win. But it is a good little test for Liverpool in the heat of Bangkok, all part of this tour that will take in, of course, Malaysia, and before that Australia, with 2 games over the coming weekend. Here we go then, Liverpool's pre-season is underway. The start of the preparations for the 2015-2016 Premier League season, which gets underway in a month's time. Plenty of hard work, plenty of games to go between now and then, and plenty of players who will want to stake a claim to get in that first 11 on the opening day of the season. And Liverpool, of course, return to Stoke. The pitch isn't the best, rarely is when we play out here. It cut up very badly as Liverpool trained last night. An important intervention from Kolo Toure to get the ball away. It's Rossiter who can't find Ricky Lambert. Chase is looking for Ings. It's away by Warab Mekmuzik, the goalkeeper. Markovic. There's Joe Gomez with his first touch in a Liverpool shirt.
I say for Markovic, big season, isn't it? Big season for him.
Sacco. Nice take and turn by Danny Ings, who cut his own summer holiday short to join the tour. They're playing for England at the under-21s. Here is Joe Gomez. And that's Markovic. Well, it's comfortably saved by the goalkeeper. Liverpool almost finding a way through very early.
Yeah, good break as well. The thing about it is, if you watch the Thai players, they're very much into ball watching. That is their problem. If you saw that, didn't look so much time and space, and I mean Markovic is just trying to help that on. He's not trying to score, but a good break certainly.
It's down by Tamapan. By Dick Meter, who is one of the players who played against Chelsea when they played at the back end of May. This is very much the leader of Liverpool in that midfield. It's a big season for him. So it's a big season for a lot of players, though. Don't mean it's simple as that. It's pretty much as it should be, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why you're at a big club. Every week's an examination.
Amadou Sakho, who had his injury problems last season, on towards Teixeira here. Lambert just bullying the defender, Teixeira. That's nice on towards Markovic. Lovely break, and of course it in. And Liverpool lead very early. Well, they couldn't have asked for a better start. Markovic, who had a half chance a moment ago, takes the first real chance of the game.
Yeah, and he was just really quick to react. I mean, I think it was a foul in the build-up. Lambert just basically assaulted one of the Thai defenders, which the referee never saw. But great thing from Markovic, there you are. If that's not a foul, I don't know what is. But clever little ball as well here to Markovic. As I said to you before about ball watching, that's going to be a massive problem for the Thais. But Markovic was very aware and awake to the possibility of scoring.
It's a little more streamlined, Lazar Markovic. He flew through there and was able to finish. Liverpool are off and running. Tidy finish. Just what really everyone would have wanted. An early goal, Liverpool dominating. We were mentioning the pitch a little earlier. It cut up really badly when Liverpool trained on it last night. It does get quite heavy as well, and obviously with the heat and the humidity, which I think is more of a problem, the heat out here, that really is sapping on the players, which is why Liverpool will play 2 different teams. That looked a foul on Teixeira, the referee happy to let it go.
Well, which he's done for Lambert's foul as well. And the great thing is, from the starting player's point of view, it's just 45 minutes non-stop. So in the fact that you know that is great, isn't it? So you just get on with it and get as much from it as you possibly can.
He's looking for Markovic again.
เมื่อสักครู่ก็เป็นลิเวอร์พูล
Away
นะค
by
รับ
Wanastri.
ในนาที
Torre with plenty of time. Back towards Adam Bogdan. Able to get a touch and deliver the ball downfield. Had that wonderful game, didn't he, for Bolton against Liverpool in the FA Cup last season. It's away by Chutong. And back by Joe Gomez, who's been very lively early on here. The young man signed from Charlton in the summer. That's Rossiter. Get the ball back here. Lucas looking for Lambert. He was looking for Danny Ings. Thailand are able to get the ball downfield and move it on, but it's comfortable for Kolo Toure as it was delivered by Samrawat Dekmita. Lucas. Rossiter again.
Just see as soon as Liverpool move the ball, the passing's really good. That they've got an extra half yard of pace, haven't they, in all areas. I mean, Joe Gomez has come down the right-hand side completely unopposed on 2 occasions so far.
I think his long-term plan is to be a central defender. Sandro Wisdom's long-term plan is he plays the ball there, but he's played in positions at right-back and at the centre of the defence. That's on for Teixeira. It's a good take by the goalkeeper, who had to be strong and brave.
Yeah, well, he was out very quickly to Markovic's goal, wasn't he? And he probably thought for a split second there, crikey, I hope I make it.
Is that a passage of right these days, a rite of passage for a young player? Has to go and wants to be a big centre-half and maybe has to just do his apprenticeship at full-back?
You probably learn more from playing right back or eventually to play centre back, most definitely. And I think there's a thought with coaches and managers that if you do make mistakes in the right back area, there is a chance that somebody can rectify your mistake. Whereas of course at centre back, more often than not, they can't.
João Carlos Teixeira, that horrible injury back in April. Good to see him back in action so quickly. He really had a taste, of course, of Premier League. Saka with a powerful leap.
It's amazing. Liverpool's been back, what, about 8 days, 9 days training, and they look so much sharper. Plus the travel already, and the heat and humidity.
It was Danny Ings who, as we mentioned, was told that he could go on holiday after playing for England's under-21s in the UEFA Under-21 Championship in the Czech Republic. Underwhelming performance from England again. I know you were there, weren't you, Mark?
Yeah, I was. They were completely underwhelming. In fact, they weren't even underwhelming.
Here's Lucas. It's a lovely ball. On towards Lambert. The players are arriving in the middle. Danny Ings it was who threw himself at the ball.
Good ball in as well, wasn't it? Lovely little ball, the first one here.
Lambert was very alive to the opportunity. They'll want to get off and running as soon as possible, Danny Ings. It doesn't actually count for much in pre-season.
No, but you'd rather score than not, and especially for a striker, because you come off and if you don't score, even if your team wins, you do feel a little sullied.
Last time Liverpool played here and won here, Iago Aspas got himself on the score sheet. Steven Gerrard scored that day as well.
So what are you trying to say?
Here's Markovic with the corner. It's toward Lambert, it's actually swung out of play and come back in.
Danny Ings at the under-21s, you know, in the last game against the Italians, they stayed in a hotel which was literally 25 yards away from the ground, but UEFA made England get on a coach. I kid you not, but the thing I liked about him was, after the game, instead of getting on the coach with all the disappointment, he actually walked in amongst all the supporters, and I thought, good on you.
The sort of lad he is. Lancashire lad, brought up and raised and played for Burnley. Very much a player, man of the community. There's a wrench for him to leave, but chances to play for Liverpool don't come round very often.
Wrench to leave Burnley, yeah?
I think the game was panned out as we expected in the opening 10 minutes. Liverpool with lots of possession, moving the ball around. The attacks from the Thai All-Stars are a little more sporadic. Lucas coming high up the field to try and win the ball. Just caught a little short there. The flag has stayed down. This is Jakapan Ponsai. No way through.
No, I'm not sure whether. I think probably Adam Bogdan could have come there all the way. He just seemed to hesitate a little bit when the ball was played through, but Liverpool have got away with it.
And the flag did stay down.
He just stopped there, didn't he? Started to retreat.
The ball wasn't the best in the end that was delivered.
No, I think that was a pitch as much as anything.
Here's Sacco. Central defenders will certainly know they've been in a battle with Ricky Lambert up there. Put himself about early on. Lucas. Intelligent running by Ings. Towards Teixeira. Comes to Lucas again. Got to control the ball.
Got to look at it as well.
Sacco to get it back from captain Dick Meter. Teixeira. Lucas again.
He looks decent, Dick Meter. On the ball, certainly left-footed players always stand out anyway, but he looks like he can get the ball down, get his head up and thread a pass through.
They do change this squad around. There's only a couple of players involved that played against Reading last week. They're both on the bench today, Annan and Impinit. Stanley's just been caught offside. The likes of Mika Chunonse and Dick Meter and Rankseo all played against Chelsea back in May. Rotate the squad around. It's as though it's same 16, 17, 18 players picked for when they play these games.
Well, the other thing as well is that is they will be quite unfamiliar to each other, won't they?
It's confident for Bogdan to come and gather. Teixeira.
It's slightly false as well. I mean, because midfield players are dropping off and getting the balls. There's absolutely no pressure on them. Look at Lucas Leiva there, just easy.
Quite the same pressing of the game that we'll see in the months to come. On by Ronakai Rankseo, who by the name of Sam. Jakapan there goes by the name of Pon. Normally, they're the affectionate names given to them out here in the Thai Premier League. Ponsai, who plays for Suphambari, and Seo, the one who plays at Bangkok United.
Loving your research.
He's had a little spell at Everton.
Yeah.
Year at Everton, yes, in 2006.
What level did he play?
Just at the youth team level, under 18s. Here's Lucas.
I think the Liverpool players are suddenly realising they've got a little bit more time than they think. And it's very easy for them at the moment, certainly.
A bit too much time there.
Yeah, probably too many options if there is such a case.
Well, from here, of course, it is on to Australia.
The games will be tougher there, won't they?
There's been a lot of investment and a lot of importance stressed on the A-League. Certainly just got a bit of a whack there. No lasting damage, and a man very quick to apologise was concussive. United were flying in the Asian Champions League. Tinan was unable to keep the ball in play. Again, the ball just fizzing up off the surface. Quite lively, the bounce. Players are pointing out that the ball's quite lively as well. It's not quite like the balls that they use in England. They're all different these days, aren't they?
Certainly are.
It's a lovely ball inside the fullback. Lambert will chase. The goalkeeper was sharp. We passed the 15-minute mark. Liverpool
leading them very, very comfortable. You just didn't really want Lambert wanting to run in there. You wanted Markovic, really. Ricky wouldn't be the quickest, would he, over the ground? Look, with that shot as well, you get an idea of how bad the pitch actually is.
So it is rutted. The bowling greens that Liverpool will have when they return to England.
Yeah, all the Premier League teams.
Rossiter. Again. Now Lambert was lucky to help it onto Markovic, who's playing in that hole just behind the front two and is looking to run on beyond them. It's not a particularly good first touch, but Dick Meter got away with it. Putina. Won by Pratham Chakon. Tremonse to Dick Meter. With the Thai players that passing the ball and keeping it at times is a bit of an effort.
Yeah, they always seem to fall down, don't they? There again, asking too much.
It's all very, very deliberate as well, isn't it? When they pass the ball, it doesn't seem to come as natural. But then again, the players can't quite at the standard of Liverpool. It's
and they don't play together on a regular basis, so it's perfectly understandable. And also, it's a big honour to play in this team. And if anything, you just want to keep it simple until you grow into the game.
Mita certainly doesn't lack confidence to try and play a ball. Gomez was comfortable. There's Montadi who's closing him down and pressing him.
Looks an athlete, Gomez, at the very least, doesn't he? A really good athlete.
A man who hails from Catford. Dog racing country.
I know, just didn't like to admit that I knew. Place your bets. Ooh.
Lucas lost it, and then
he did. How often do you see that? You lose a ball or just have a bad touch, and more often than not you end up fouling somebody.
The referee may have left his whistle at home today. The only time we've heard it is for set pieces, corners and things like that.
I think the sponsors,
there we go.
The sponsors have had a word, haven't they? Let the game flow if possible.
He has given a free kick there. That was by Teixeira. By Dick Meter, but Wisdom always in control of the situation. Back at Liverpool, of course, after those loan spells at West Bromwich Albion and Derby County.
Yeah, it's a big season for him, isn't he? Signed a new contract.
To start making inroads now with Liverpool. Rossiter, as we mentioned, he really impressed when he played in that League Cup last season. Himself a goal as well. Here's Ings. Rossiter. It's nice. Gomez again. Quite deliver the ball for Ings, who may or may not have been offside.
Third time though, Gomez has got in there. Lever wanted to win it and the other boy didn't.
He only knows one way.
Yeah. You know what you get from that's not foul, is it? Crikey.
The look was enough.
Must have stepped on those lemon-coloured boots. Maybe that was the offence.
Here is the captain, Samrawat Technique again.
And the good thing about this system for Liverpool, it means they kind of trap the ties in their own half, so the goalkeeper, if you just seen him do there, has to start to play a little bit longer. Champions League tattoos.
That's nice. Steps away from Lucas. Steps away from Jean-Carlos Teixeira as well. He came back and had a nibble. And the nibble was enough for the referee to blow his whistle.
Yeah, it's a foul, certainly.
Well, Isak Kinkosum it was who made the little burst.
I think he was just about to pull the trigger as well, wasn't he? He looked like he was going to line up to have a shot.
The hardest decision for the referee.
No. They always look worse in super slow motion as well, don't they? They've got 3 up. I know they're going to have a shot here, but they've actually got 3 players up the pitch, Thailand.
Well, there is the effort, which is up and over the top. It wasn't a bad strike.
No. Just thought for a second Bogdan might have been tempted to touch it, make his first save. He thought about it, didn't he?
It was dipping. The Hungarian was able to just wave it over the top of the crossbar. His former team, Bolton, played Paderborn from Germany yesterday, and the goalkeeper got beat from the halfway line with a volley.
The Bolton goalkeeper did?
He did, yeah, from 50 yards.
Crikey.
Volleyed it, ball came out and volleyed it back, and it just arced straight into the net.
You need to get a life.
Has been said plenty of times. Wisdom will take the throw-in. Approaching the halfway mark of the first half. Liverpool leading thanks to Ozan Markovic's goal. It was very late on Teixeira, who did see it coming. Was able to get his leg out of the way as Vitaya Madlam threw himself into the challenge. I think there was any contact made on him.
No. Got there as quick as he could.
Lucas Lambert.
Yeah, they've had 7 passes there, Liverpool, completely in the post.
Here's Rossiter, and he's on for Ings. Good save by the goalkeeper, Teixeira. The goalkeeper did well again. It's a corner to Liverpool. Well, Rossiter was unselfish, and the goalkeeper made 2 really, really good saves.
Yeah, Ings thinks he's scoring here. Great run by Lucas Leiva. Great run, head up. Knew exactly what he was. Sorry, Rossiter knew exactly what he was doing. Just too close to the goalkeeper, wasn't it, from Danny Ings?
First save's decent, the second's excellent.
Yeah. I think either side of the goalkeeper from there for Danny Ings, and it's a goal.
Teixeira, who was denied by the second save, takes the Liverpool corner. Now it's come towards Mamadou Sakho, and it's into the net now. No, it's not going to count. Danny Ings' first goal for Liverpool is chalked off because of the challenge by Sakho on the goalkeeper.
I would presume so, though the ball seemed to go on quite a while and a time after it, so I'm not sure he's injured. This will tell us. Oh, it's not a foul, is it? But it's pre-season, I suppose. It's a friendly, and foot's not exactly up, is it? It's there to be played for.
Well, does the goalkeeper have the ball in his hands?
No.
Is what the referee has to think.
No, it's perfectly. It's a really good save.
He's holding his eye, and
yeah, after
the last thing he got caught in was his eye.
exactly.
Danny Ings is denied this time.
Pity. It's a goal scorer's goal, isn't it? Probably a good job that Sacco didn't actually connect with him either.
Well, as ever with the temperature and the humidity, we do reach the halfway mark of the half. Everyone stops and has a little drink and pauses for a moment. A few instructions from both managers. Danny Ings, who denied by the goalkeeper and then denied by the referee in the last few moments, but Liverpool looks slick so far.
No, I think they've been good. I've been very impressed. Especially I like the way that they're playing insofar as both Ings and Lambert coming off the markers, ball into their feet from the back from Sacco and Toure, setting everybody up. Markovic has done really well. He's been the one generally to stretch the Thai All-Star side, you know, in terms of running in behind them, and it's a really good way to play the system.
Of course, there are plenty of players to add to this Liverpool squad. There's the likes of Felipe Coutinho and Roberto Firmino, who are yet to head back from playing in the Copa America.
Are they back for the European games then, we assume?
When
In
the
terms
Liverpool,
of,
yes, towards
a couple of weeks, or
a couple of
when
weeks.
they get back from the tour.
And of course, that's just a week shy of the Premier League season starting.
So you can't really see Firmino starting, can you, at Stoke?
It's a question that Brendan Rodgers will answer.
He will.
Of course, Liverpool, who play in Helsinki and then will now play Swindon as well the week before the season starts. 2 games in 2 days.
Well, that's 2 teams, isn't it? So, but you'd think that Firmino would have to be playing against Helsinki or Swindon, wouldn't he, at the very least, to start the season.
The good thing about him, of course, is that he's coming from the Bundesliga. He's a very European type of player, which should help him to integrate into the Premier League rather than a classic sort of South American player.
Yeah.
Because he's been brought up and grown up through the system at the Bundesliga level, Hoffenheim. That meter was caught by Ings again. He's been on the receiving end of a few fouls now.
Yeah, but he's a good jumper, isn't he?
A hair out of place.
Not easy. Fairness to Ings, he was slightly late, but he slipped as much as anything.
It's been a pretty comfortable afternoon so far, evening as it is here in Bangkok for the Liverpool back 4 in this first half. Certainly with the formation that Liverpool are playing with, that diamond in midfield, the fullbacks are encouraged to get forward. Certainly Gomez has got forward more than Wisdom.
It wouldn't be Wisdom's favourite position, left back, would it? So that always restricts you a little bit. You start to think a little bit more defensively, but Gomez has just kind of galloped on all the half.
Let's call Toure. Great take by Danny Ings. It was a little unfortunate that he didn't just get the break of the ball. The defender did well in the end.
Great first touch. Absolutely brilliant first touch from Ings. Over his shoulder, one of the most difficult things to do in football. Here, when you look, great touch that was. And the second, in fairness.
He meant to flick it over the defender,
Yeah,
didn't he?
yeah, he did.
's hurt himself as well. He's hobbling a little as Markovic has the shot. Just limping away, Danny Ings at the moment. Isn't just pulled up.
I wonder if that was the challenge on Dick Meter that hurt Ings rather more than the touch he just had over the defender. Listen, if there's any doubt, you've got to not just take him off, don't you? Coming off anyway in 17 minutes.
There's enough players in reserve for Liverpool. And 29 minutes played. Just the 1 goal for Liverpool so far. Lively, good passing, winning the ball. And the referee denied them what looked a good second goal. Toure with some defending to do. A rare piece of defending. Or did he get the last touch? It is.
He did.
A corner. Antoine Montadi put him under enough pressure. Trying to work the opening, one misses it, the other doesn't, and it's a good block by Mamadou Sakho. Strike came from Chunonse after it was actually missed by Klinkosum.
Good dummy. Actually, since the referee didn't give any fouls in the first 20 minutes, the very slightest thing now, he's blowing up. It was a good block by Sakho.
Across goes Jakapan to take the free kick. Every time Liverpool go forward, there's a huge roar around the stadium. It's not quite the same when the Thais have an effort. Jakapan's delivery headed away by Kolo Toure.
Great delivery as well.
Try again. Dikmita. Bogdan's got just about all night to pull that out of the sky. Rossiter. Wisdom. Mamadou Sakho towards Kolo Toure. Gomez. Teixeira. Nice. Lambert. Nice forwardings, and the actually came from Jordan Rossiter, who started the move over on the left side of the field. I think just about every Liverpool player had a touch before Rossiter's header was turned behind.
Ricky Lambert saw him, because the hand goes up in the foreground, and it was meant for Rossiter. It's a great ball from Lambert. Should have scored actually either side of the goalkeeper. It's 2-0, but great ball in, that is.
Just to embody everything you said about the Thai players sometimes ball watching as well. Not the best defending in the world by putting on.
No, maybe he's got no shampoo putting on.
There's Teixeira with a corner. And it's over the top of Kolo Toure. Didn't actually get off the floor.
No, it's early in the season for him though, isn't it?
He's been working all summer, keeping himself nice and fit. I suppose when you do get to his age, you have to keep yourself moving, don't you?
Yeah, well, I think just it's a case of keep ticking over, and you know, when he signed as well, Toure, he's probably fourth choice centre back. So I think he's done great. He's never ever let Liverpool down, in all honesty.
It's another free kick.
Very difficult that when you come to a club and you think you're fourth choice, you're hardly ever going to play. And I'm sure he could have gone to a lot of other clubs where he knew he would have played every week.
Sakho just giving Veronica Rangsio a bit of a clattering. Header across goal, and away comfortably by Sakho again. Jakapan Pornside.
He's only beaten him 6 times so far.
Putinan. Dikmita. That's another free kick.
Yeah, it's a bit lazy Markovic, really.
He's actually running around at the moment with one shirt sleeve up around his shoulders and the other down normally. It's a new look for a football strip. It's not a bad ball, headed by Sakho. Lucas helps it away. They're having a little spell here at the Thai All-Stars. The first of the game.
Yeah, without really looking like scoring. I mean, Bogdan still hasn't made a save, has he? side, you see now people start to make foul challenges, mostly Liverpool at the moment as well, get a little frustrated as well.
Here's Chunonse, who was actually born in Bridgend in South Wales. Holds dual nationality, UK and Thai citizenship. Klinkosum. Montadi. It's a good little run, but there's no foul. He's guilty of looking for it. Gomez away to Teixeira. Rossiter.
Good idea, just wrong execution.
A draw needed on the shot.
Yeah, off the tee.
Straight when he needed to come round a little.
I think the other thing as well, if you're Brendan Rodgers now, you're just kind of thinking, come on, just give me 10 minutes more of 100% and maybe pinch another goal. They all know they're coming off, don't they? It seems to be they're in a little bit cruise mode at the moment.
Montadi, Klinkosum. And Seal with the touch forward, it's lost to Markovic and Lambert. Challenged by Putinan. Teixeira. Markovic. It's an important interception. Came from Kamapan. Dekmita. Rangsio. Come the other way.
Yeah.
Ball went long.
Good idea. Again, look at that. Look at the space Liverpool have got.
Was Ings. Find Teixeira. Will try and win the ball back. He's certainly not feeling the effects of hobbling around. A few minutes ago, he's been moving pretty freely now.
Just a little frustrated in terms of his body language.
It's a lengthy warm-up for those coming on.
Just what you don't want.
Skirtle, and of course, who has committed his future to Liverpool in the last few days.
I think it's an important piece of business, that.
This is Vataya.
Black boots, what's all that about? There's two of them, isn't there?
Klinkosum, they're certainly not black, that Dekmita's wearing. Come up with a colour for those ones.
Oh, they came up with lemon, did it?
Lemon coloured, yeah, there you go. Of course, they're the sort of colour you'd be wearing if you were playing.
Absolutely.
Gomez too strong and a little too agile for his opponent there, Rossiter. Wisdom. Lucas. Lambert. Didn't find any of the three players around, but does keep the ball. Pratham is under pressure from him, and I was pretty pleased that there was enough of a touch to just make him stumble.
Just a wry smile from Ricky Lambert as well, thinking at least he didn't have to run into the corner. There is contact, isn't there?
He thought about falling for about 2-3 seconds, didn't he? Certainly not going to be on the Thai version of Strictly Come Dancing with moves like that.
No.
A little over 5 minutes to go till half-time. For the first 25-30 minutes, Liverpool were dictating and moving the ball around and looking as though they could score at will. Just got a little stickier in the last 10 minutes or so.
And I think the reason is as well, not just the heat and humidity, but also that it's very easy for them, isn't it? Very easy, and you just get one or two players start to have an extra touch on the ball, they slow down the moves, etc. And in the end, one or two other players start to get a little bit frustrated.
Teixeira, who's been very slick and lively. Rossiter. For those two young men having had bad injuries last season, to be back out there and to be playing like this, little game under the belt.
Yeah, bonus, isn't it?
Markovic, who got the goal for Liverpool very, very early. Teixeira. Lucas. Now Rossiter again. Ings. Nice turn, wins Liverpool the corner.
Let's see what chaos the big boys can cause here. Sacco certainly. I suppose Toure will come up, will he not?
Sacco's already on his way.
Oh,
Andre
yeah,
Wisdom as well.
He fancies it, don't Mamadou.
Of course, Liverpool nearly got a second when Sacco challenged the goalkeeper. Danning's goal ruled out. It's Teixeira's delivery, they're all queuing up for it. And it's Mamadou Sakho for Liverpool, who gets them a second goal in Thailand. Thumping header from the big Frenchman. And Liverpool have deserved that.
Yeah, they have, but not only Sakho, I think Toure was also behind him. There's absolutely no challenge. Although the direction and power of the header from Sakho was very, very good indeed. He's doing a job of it. You watch at the far stick here, look at these two. Three, in fact. Ricky Lambert's there as well. Toure, nobody picking anyone up. Good header, that is.
He loved it as well, didn't he?
Yeah. Nobody from the Thai All-Stars actually jumped. But they're all like statues.
Perfectly placed. Precise header from Mamadou Sakho. Liverpool, 2 goals to the good.
It's only what they deserve, in all honesty.
Wisdom's had to put that ball out of play. The Thai All-Stars will have themselves a corner now. To rush to get as many players forward. Well, I think the substitutes are having a bit of fun with the linesman down there.
Bogdan as well was on to the referee about something, thought that he touched it. That's what they're trying to say.
It's come all the way through. And the striker, well, I think he himself knows it was rather wild in the end.
Not what was required. Although they were a little bit lax, Liverpool, insofar as completely unmarked at the far post.
Well, Pierkat Tamapam, his eyes lit up when the ball came to him. So I'm going to make a name for myself here.
Pity his feet didn't light up. It's funny, isn't it? Because what do you say at half-time if you're Brendan Rodgers? Because you've got a complete new team coming on. Just like, well done, chaps, have a shower, and on you lot go.
There will be a little warm down for those going off.
Just what you want. And the funny thing is as well, the players who are coming on probably warmed up more in the searing heat and humidity than they would for a Premier League game second half, wouldn't they?
It's all scientific these days, isn't it?
Allegedly.
Length of time.
But if it's warm, do your muscles aren't they automatically warm anyway? Don't give me an answer, it's fine. I didn't mean
I'm
yours
not quite-
personally.
yeah,
I just,
but I
it
was
was
gonna
a
say-
generic question.
Nice little turn by Chakapan again. He's been lively when the ball has come to him at his feet.
There's a difference in the two teams. Now all of a sudden one of the Thai players under pressure, doesn't really know what to do. It just plays a long, hopeful ball, and all they do is give the ball back to the opposition. Look at Bogdan, absolutely sweating. He's not done anything in the nicest way.
Well, it's been a good workout in the first half for Liverpool. They've got themselves a couple of goals right at the start of the whole half with Lazar Markovic, and right at the end of the half from Mamadou Sakho. It was all pretty comfortable.
Yeah, and I think, both individually and collectively, obviously as a team, very good for Liverpool. And also I like the way that they played the system. So all those boys who've taken part in the first half can actually be very pleased with themselves.
It'll be all changed for the second half. At half-time, it's the Thai All-Stars 0, Liverpool 2. Well, it's a new Liverpool. There's a new signing in James Milner, who starts his first half in a Liverpool shirt. The supporters have run for cover. The players, there's nowhere to hide out there. They're trying to get what cover they can. A chance for the likes of Nathaniel Klein, James Milner, and after a year's wait, Divock Origi finally gets to play in a Liverpool shirt after, of course, returning to Lille on loan.
And you would say, certainly looking at the starting 11 for Liverpool, there's 5 or 6 who you would expect to be in the team against Stoke on the 9th of August.
Well, there's young Joe Maguire getting his first touch alongside the senior players, Skirtle. On here to another of the new boys, Nathaniel Klein. He already knows a few of the boys well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's a lovely turn in midfield from James Milner. On by Ibe. Milner's delivery, goalkeeper will come. He's very nearly lost it. Origi was waiting. Just about held on.
Yeah, interesting to see as well that Milner will probably sit in the middle of the 3 in terms of midfield. A little bit of a change for him from Manchester City days.
It was Joe Allen, the bearded Joe Allen for the pre-season.
Yeah, I never understand that, why you would grow a beard for the summer.
Fashion statements nowadays, Mark.
Is that right?
A little short, but
For some
Skirtle gets
people.
there. Forward, looking for Adam Lallana. That's well won. That's a foul by Jordan Henderson.
I don't think he's happy, lip reading, but I'm not even sure it was his challenge. It might have been Lallana's challenge. This will tell us. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that, crikey.
Lekocha has just come on at half-time for the Thai All-Stars. He was caught in possession there. Here's Henderson again. And Lallana. Well, there was certainly a lean into the back of Adam Lallana. I think had it been a more competitive game, there could have been a few questions asked of the referee.
Yeah, players will love this rain, because it'll speed up the pace of play in the pitch, which will suit us.
There's a bit of lightning around as well now.
That won't suit us.
Bit of thunder as well. Origi. Well, the referee and the safety staff at the stadium will be keeping a close eye on this. Ibe. Beat his man, but couldn't keep the ball in play. We have, of course, seen England internationals delayed by inclement weather in the last couple of years.
This is very topical. I remember in the early 80s when we went to play the same kind of team in Bangkok. We flew from Hong Kong and we flew through this storm. And remember dear old Tom Saunders? He was sat next to me on the plane. He thought he was about to die, and he was squeezing my arm for about an hour. And I thought I'd lost the use of my arm when we eventually got to the other end. Good break by James Milner. You've seen with Milner already just breaking from central midfield area onto the right-hand side.
Well, he could play anywhere. He's that sort of player, and Liverpool knew exactly what they were getting when they signed James Milner when his contract ran down at Manchester City. James Milner himself was keen to make the move. Here he is. The goalkeeper's done well.
Good save that is. He thought for a minute as well, might get caught in Lallana's feet.
Well, the temperature is still above 30, it's just dipping. Late 80s, that?
Yeah. Well, 28 is 82.
Origi is a man over, it's very well covered. And Liverpool will get the corner.
There's an urgency to Liverpool as well, it's good, isn't it? Start the second half, fresh team on.
It's a good tackle by Junonce.
I'll tell you, one of the worries, look at all the spray that's coming up already, would be, you know, water stain on the pitch.
They could end up with the famous old Tom Finney splash picture.
Yeah. When would the replay be?
Just go off and get the squeegees on it for a bit. One thing that the Thai players have done all day is carried on working when they've had the ball, tried to keep it moving. Here's Dekamitra, who...
He's their best player, by the way.
He's been the one that they've tried to play through.
Yeah, everything goes through him, and he's very cool on the ball as well, gets his head up.
There's Nathaniel Klein. Milner. Henderson on towards Lallana, who's trying to chest the ball down for Origi, who had made the run forward. It's going to be comfortable for Simon Mignolet. Origi's won the ball back. Here's Henderson. It's a lovely little reverse ball. Lallana. Lovely finish for Liverpool. That's the third. Crisp as you like from Adam Lallana after a glorious pass from Liverpool's captain Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, it was. The other thing as well is it wasn't the greatest of touches from Lallana, so the fact that the opposition's so weak, nobody reacted quickly enough to make him stop his shot. So it was almost behind him, and then he was going to have another touch. Then he took it out of his feet and got so much time to do so. But it's an excellent finish, certainly. Good ball from Henderson.
Round the back of his legs, and Adam Lallana just about managed to shift the ball out and then crash the ball home.
How many goals do you see from just inside the penalty area that go through a defender's legs? It's an amazing amount.
Looking for the run of Henderson. I want to pick the ball on the edge of the box as Dekamitra gets the ball away. Dekamitra again. It's comfortable for Mignolet. Young Joe Maguire, 19 years old now.
Good for him as well. He's playing with a lot of experienced pros. Great for him.
He's been at Liverpool since he was 9 years old. Good opportunity for him. That's a lovely ball by Henderson, looking for Origi. The ball actually was cleared onto him. The Belgian nearly profited from a ricochet.
Not seen much of him over the course of the last season, Origi, but I get the impression he wants everything in front of him, doesn't he? He's not a kind of play the ball up to me and I'll join in and hold the ball up. I think he's very much in behind defences, which is it's not a bad thing. Certainly looks like he's got the pace.
He had a horrible run actually, but it wasn't just down to him. Lille had a terrible run where they couldn't score last season. Anusit is the new goalkeeper. A few changes for Thailand here to add to Ekachai, who came on at half-time as they just changed things around.
I'm sure the temperature's not plummeted, because I think one of the boys has got tights on.
Well, Patipan is the man coming on here. He's come on for Pratum Chutong as well. Here's Origi. Ibe. Defenders managed to get in the way. They'll not go faster Tykes, that's for sure.
No, they go slower Tykes. What about that? Better be careful, might get run over by the snowplough.
I think the technical term for them is compression pants, isn't it?
Is it?
Yes.
Never knew that.
There's
So you
no-
learn something every day.
I mentioned about keeping your muscles warm.
Yeah.
Just what you need when it's 30 degrees.
Yeah. Blistering hot.
Skirtle. It's Milner to Henderson. Really nice step away from his man. Looking for Origi. That's a foul by Jordan Henderson. Well, they've been busy early on this second Liverpool team.
Yeah, they started at a quicker pace and rate, certainly, than the opening 11 did. Might have something to do with the fact that it is raining, and it just gives you a little bit where you feel better. Certainly, we know it's still hot, but when you're playing in the rain, I always think as a footballer, playing in the rain is fantastic. The crowd hate it, players love it.
It's Henderson, plenty of space out there for Adam Lallana, who got Liverpool's third goal. That's on to Maguire. And he's going to get a second bite of the cherry here. He's looking for Origi. It's a lovely ball as well. Just out of the lunge of the Belgian.
Great ball, that is. That's the old corridor of uncertainty. Just wonder whether Origi could have gambled a little bit more. He gets a little bit lucky, and it's a good tackle actually, and the ball breaks from Maguire. Great pass that is. Look at that. Surprised actually didn't quite catch it, Origi.
Need a longer stud today.
Yeah.
A longer stud would have got that. That's how close Divock Origi was. Klein. This was away with England at the end of the season, as well as Adam Lallana. This was Jordan Henderson and a few others as well. Right, can't keep the ball this time. Lovren with plenty of time. Allen to Lallana. Origi again. Henderson is looking for that little reverse ball for Lallana. Here's Ibe. Lovely step. Ball to Klein was just a little light. Maybe it would have been perfect had it not had the heavy rain that we've just had. This time Klein can't find Ibe.
Just a little too intricate in the end, but certainly good play from Liverpool's point of view. Kept the move alive.
We mentioned the pitch cut up really badly when the players trained on it before it rained last night. It was cutting up in the first half, and you can just see exactly what it's doing now that it's absolutely chucking it down.
Yeah.
Might need to relay this one after this. Milner, just a little short as he looked for Maguire. He did really well to see the opportunity to get the ball back. Is Skirtle. Maguire. Milner was looking for Lallana. Nakachai with the challenge.
I'm not sure, you know, but I don't think the All-Stars have actually had the ball in Liverpool's half for the second half.
And it's one-way traffic. It's all going in one direction at the moment, isn't it?
A bit like the rain.
Speaking of which, one direction were the last people to fill this stadium back in the summer. And a huge stadium here. Huge concert. Paul with the throw. It's back towards Anusit, the reserve goalkeeper who's come on, the second choice goalkeeper. Lallana just left a little bit on him.
Yeah, I think he tried to stop himself, Lallana. It was though that the goalkeeper was waiting for the challenge. Yeah, he was trying to stop himself in anyway. Big season for him as well, Lallana, isn't it? I think everybody knows he's got the ability. It's just a matter of keeping himself fit, playing him regularly.
Just before he got that injury, after missing pre-season last season, he was just finding his real form, and then had to start again and start again. It was a season where he kept getting in and then just missing out. And
it also shows you the importance of pre-season. It's massive.
It's Maguire to Milner. James Milner has been playing first team football week in, week out since he was 16 years old. He's been around forever, since he first started at Leeds. Not long ago, Leeds United was still a Premier League team then.
Yeah, Jordan Henderson's getting himself a little bit frustrated here. It's hardly a bad challenge, is it? But it ain't the Premier League, Jordan.
There's enough contact probably for it to be given as a foul in the Premier League as well.
Yeah, possibly.
Martin Skirtle and Dan Lovren have had very little to do so far, apart from get wet.
Armchairs. They're in their armchairs, a pair of them.
There in the armchairs, Simon Mignolet must be on the chaise longue by now.
Yeah. Oh,
it's a tumble. Everyone looks at Lallana just to make sure he's okay as play goes on. It's away by Lovren. It's the first time, as Mark was saying, that the Thai All-Stars have actually got towards Liverpool's penalty area in this second period. It's taken 62 minutes or 17 minutes of the second half. Oh, stumble, slip, fall. Just about got the ball back to his goalkeeper.
He's laughing about it.
He's not the only one. Liverpool again pressing high and trying to win the ball back as quickly as they can. Noppal again. It's come off Jordan Ibe. Mignolet just wants a touch.
Yeah, bored. Just wondering if Ibe and Klein have a good season and going to play down the right for Liverpool. There'll be a lot of players in the opposition not going to quite fancy their two pace and trickery, are they?
Here's Skirtle. Live was waiting for it. Noppal was able to see it. Skirtle gets the ball back to his goalkeeper. I mentioned him signing that new contract, and important for him, important for the club as well. He's got to be the real leader at the heart of that defence now.
He's a rock. He's been a rock, hasn't he? He's been great.
He's a vastly experienced international player now, Martin Skirtle.
And also, John, nobody likes playing against him. Tell you what, that could have gone either way, that decision.
As Gary Gillespie would say, that's a 6 and 2/3 decision. Rain's just getting heavier again. It did just die off a little. Yeah, it died off from ridiculously heavy to just heavy.
It's just died off to monsoon now.
Henderson can't get around two players, but still keeps the ball. That's got to be offside against Lallana, and is.
Actually didn't need to pinch so many yards here because there's a massive hole for the ball to be played into. Look how big that hole is between the two centre-backs.
Just about pick out Simon Mignolet.
I'm sure he's not touched the ball with his hands.
Milner, Henderson, Origi goes left, Ibe to the right, and Klein makes the run forward, and then stopped, but still gets to the ball, and it comes out. Oh, it's a lovely effort. Very, very cute from Henderson. It just wouldn't quite drop for him.
No, he had a quick look as well. You can see, no doubt see with the replay, and the ball breaks to him more than anything. He has a very, very quick look. Yeah, and it's just had his look there. Keeper wasn't saving it, was he?
Mind had just about got a phone book underneath his feet. I don't think we have phone books anymore, do we?
Showing your age.
Kuchai. It's a nice turn. And pin it. Live gets it back for Liverpool, but then loses it straight away. Passes a little short, and Origi will get there. The ball just died a little on the surface with it being very wet out there. Now the ball is just starting to stick just a little. There's one thing that this surface is probably used to, it's a heavy shower or two.
It is.
Challenged by Lallana, working back the other way. Liverpool have been going forward pretty much all through this second half so far. Here's Jordan Henderson. Oh, of course, Liverpool's captain. It's a lovely dummy by Milner. Just took the defender out of the game completely. Skirtle. We've seen mist and fog in pre-season. That's just heavy rain that stops you seeing the far side of the field. But here's Henderson, Origi, still got it, Lallana, Origi. Oh, it's just come back off the woodwork. The ball was sticking as he tried to work his way through. Just couldn't quite slide it inside the post.
No, he had to. In the end, he had to sort of dig it out. Good play as well by Lallana to help him. He was just sort of digging it out of the water. Certainly not relenting, that rain.
If you needed any example of how heavy it is, just have a look at the slow motion replay there. Just look at his shirt. Imagine a few of the players who played in that first half are quite happily sat in the shower quiet now. Klein, Henderson, Daniel Klein bursting forward again the ball sticking a little. He's managed to get it out from under his feet. Origi! Well, the goalkeeper was equal to it.
Yeah, it's a really good save, actually. A great burst of pace as well by Klein, as you quite rightly said. And, I mean, he always knew that Origi was going to have a shot, but there was two behind him if he'd had a shout. It's very difficult from there. You think you're going to score. Lallana was in a fantastic position as well.
Great hand from the goalkeeper. Nice take by Ibe. Just tried to thump his way through two challenges.
Well, they double up on him, don't they, straight away? Which is something, you know, when he starts this year, he's going to have that problem in the Premier League. Everybody knows about his ability. For me, more ability than Sterling.
Challenged by Lovren. Might just break and then Lovren wins it back again. Milner. By Lallana. There's Joe Allen. Klein. Well,
there you go.
There's the example of how heavy the rain has been. As quickly as it started, it ends.
That's the way it is.
That's a nice little touch away from James Milner. Liverpool may have their first little bit of defending to do in this second half here. Mignolet will come and gather it comfortably. That is the first time he's handled the ball.
25 minutes, 25 seconds into the second half.
Oh, after you, Alphonse.
Yeah, it seems to be this side that has the worst of in terms of the water retaining.
There's Milner, Lallana, now Maguire. Origi, it's a lovely touch, a nice take as well. Liverpool closing in, it was James Milner who was almost assaulted on his way through. And put behind for another corner. Well, Milner being the sort of player he is, just wanted to run on and score, but
yeah,
he was, well, it was almost rugby tackled on the way through.
I think it's right at the end, he's also trying to hit it too hard. A good block, actually.
Patan has defended pretty well in this game. Lovely evening now, Mark.
That's all the fuss about.
Liverpool have already scored from one corner.
See the goalkeeper. It wasn't even a Superman impression, was it?
I think he was waving to his mum in the crowd. Origi. It was a very deliberate and thought out effort. It did stop raining, by the way, for
about 5 seconds. Now it's worse. He's raw, isn't he, Origi? But you can see, you know, certainly the way he'll work the channels in the Premier League if selected. But he's, as I said before, he's very much in the channels for him. He's not going to drop off and kind of hold the ball up and bring others into play. I think he's just going to run in behind defenders, which they hate anyway.
It was that raw talent, that raw pace, that raw ability that really caught the eye in the World Cup, wasn't it, in Brazil?
Yeah. Well, there were occasions when he's kept Benteke out of the Belgian team, hasn't he?
Oh, Klein with a miss kick on a horrible surface. This is Pinillo, who himself has forgot the ball. Not easy down this side of the field.
No.
It becomes a little bit of a farce.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a lottery, isn't it? There's one thing with this service now, you cannot run with the ball, and when you pass, you seriously got to whack it at people.
Here's Joe Allen. Now Lovren. That will reach Klein. Ibe. That's lovely play. Henderson. It's too heavy for Origi. Milner will retrieve the ball. Just the final pass lacking, but here's Maguire. That's too high for Origi this time, and the clearance was by Bunal. Just about got it behind it, nearly lashed it into the top corner.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Henderson's, he saw the pass, which is the main thing. If you didn't see the pass, then you'd be in trouble, but it was just too much on it. It just needed a little bit taken off it, and Origi scores. Great ball from Lallana, put Henderson through, just overhit it.
Liverpool have the corner, which Jordan Henderson will take. Lallana with the challenge, Henderson again. Ibe. Little casual, and it gives the opportunity for the Thai All-Stars to try and break. Mignolet had a very good starting position. That's a terrible header, which has gone straight to Divock Origi! Well, he's desperate to get himself on the score sheet. He won't get a better chance.
No. He did the hard bit, which was getting the ball over the goalkeeper. And the easier bit was just, look, there's so much time and space and so much to aim at.
He's hit that post twice.
Yeah.
On the outside of the post both times. It came from a pretty awful error at the back by the Thai All-Stars.
Yeah. They are looking jaded, aren't they?
Well, that's stuck in the mud. And the pass by Joe Allen, and the shot forces Mignolet into his first save.
I tell you
Which
what,
was a pretty good one as well from Tanner.
He was saving it regardless whether he thought it was going wide. He was going to save that. He just wanted something to do. Yeah, it was going wide.
It's like FA Cup third round day at a non-league ground.
Yeah.
Ball sticking in the mud, or in the water as it is. All the best getting it out of there. He's actually got a free kick for it.
Great dive. Mind you, the right conditions for diving, isn't it?
Well, he certainly made his point, didn't he?
He did.
And it's a free kick. Mignolet's just made one save. Patipan waits in the middle. There's a few making their way in there now. Oh, and it's gone all the way through. Got a ricochet and comes back off the woodwork.
Yeah, was that Skirtle, I think, was it?
A horrible ball for the goalkeeper. And this time Skirtle heads up over the top of his own crossbar.
Yeah, and he's shouting, saying, didn't get a shout or anything, but at least he dealt with it. It's a good header, actually, this second one. It was off Skirtle, wasn't it? Just looped up.
Again, Patipan making a nuisance on that side. This is Inipat. We get away from Joe Allen, which he has done, and Joe Allen just had a little grab at him.
Yeah. A yellow. Oh, behave. It's his first challenge, isn't it? Looks like trying to pull him, stumbled the whole.
The contact was minimal, wasn't it?
It was.
I don't think you've got much chance of that spray staying
No,
in weather like
take
this, have you?
take it quick.
Well, they almost scored from the free kick a moment ago. Skirtle in the way again.
Yeah, 3 crosses, 3 clearances by Skirtle.
It is a corner. What the defending for Liverpool to do, it's similar to what happened in the first half, actually, when the first half team dominated for half an hour and then Thailand just had a little run towards the end of the first half.
More a case of Liverpool taking the foot off the gas than anything.
Akachai. Well, it is almost descending to farcical levels with the ball sticking in the wide areas. Here's Tanar again, who's dangerous when he runs with the ball. Liverpool get a free kick. Jordan Henderson can't actually touch that ball there. The referee didn't realise that himself.
Got himself a free kick after taking one of the Thai players out.
He took a free kick to himself there, Jordan Henderson.
I'll tell you what, a few tried that.
If you time it right, you could probably do a 50-yard slide in this
I would have said so.
pitch now on the conditions that we have. Not conducive to passing football.
No, that's the thing from Liverpool's point of view. It doesn't really matter because it's a pre-season friendly, but you know you can actually start to play a lot longer.
It can actually as well
Get people
increase the
injured.
risk of injuries
Yeah.
with moments like that where
Yeah.
Maguire just threw himself at the ball because it had just stopped in a big puddle.
Yeah, that's the ball. That's what you want. Just stick it over the top. This one might run away, but generally, it's not a bad ball. They've got to get out now. The Thais got to get out their own half somehow.
Liverpool were flying after half-time, and the heavy rain and now the condition of the pitch has just changed the pattern of it, with the ball very difficult to move around. Chunosum forward. So Liverpool will feel the effects of the workout today. It's an energy sapping pitch. They have a 4-on-3 break here that they don't actually work right. That's by Joe Allen, unable to find Henderson. There's Milner. Maguire. Again, the ball just sticking, but it does find its way to Divock Origi. Sticks again. Credit to him for going and getting it back. Milner. Lovren. Learnt his lesson from before, and no little square passes to your central defensive partner. Keep it in the air, but maybe not quite that high.
The idea was right.
It's impossible just around there. Just to show you why. Here's Ibe. And he and Klein are trying to burst again, and Ibe just had to try and keep the ball up in the air. Must have been penalised for a foul there, Jordan Ibe.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it was actually. But it is a farce down that right-hand side. You may as well just lump it 30 yards and chase it. Oh, he pushed him and fell over his leg.
Once forward, Skirtle is underneath the ball. Henderson. It's a good ball looking for James Milner. Defender came across. James Milner ends up with a face full of dirt.
And free kick There's a free kick for him or against
him? Yeah.
Good try. Yeah, he pulls his arm. Milner actually pulls his arm. You kind of, the first time you see it, you think, well, that's a surely free kick for him, but no, he pulls his arm down.
Sort of challenge that would have been at home, up at Headingley or somewhere like that. Loves his rugby league, does James Milner. You have to when you come from Leeds, don't you?
You have to love something.
He was a very talented cricketer. He played at his local club in Horsford, scoring hundreds at the age of 13 and things like that. Could have played for Yorkshire. Well, Brendan Rodgers and Sean O'Driscoll alongside him. Alberto Moreno has been hiding under cover for most of the second half, but he's having a little wander around now.
He's just had the shout you don't want. Warm up, you're coming on for 5 minutes in the monsoon.
Here's Milner. Origi again showing that pace to get away from his man. That's composed defending for you. Lekachai it was who controlled the ball and passed it out.
It's the best movement of the game, the Thai team.
Martin Skrtel's got to give Mignolet a test of his first touch there.
That's a good ball from Skrtel because he's taken the pitch completely out of the equation. It's very, very clever.
Allen, Milner, Lallana. Here's Maguire. And it's towards Henderson. And the goalkeeper made an unorthodox looking save, but an effective one.
Yeah, he managed to pour it away, I think, probably the best description. I don't think the surface particularly helped Jordan Henderson. Still, it's a save. Maguire's done well second half, hasn't he? Going down that left.
Henderson will take the corner. Skrtel, Lovren, both inside the penalty area. It's towards Origi. Oh, that's a thumping header. And off the mark in a Liverpool shirt is Divock Origi. You do not save those.
No, good ball in as well. Lots of pace, arcing into the penalty area. He really seriously attacked it, didn't he? Very, very good finish.
Well, he's tried, he's hit the woodwork twice. Now, Origi, well, it's as powerful a header as you'll see.
Yeah, we won't analyse the Thai's defensive capabilities against the ball from out wide, corners and free kicks, but it's still a very, very good header.
Well, Sacco scored a good header in the first half, and as we say, he was completely unchallenged, and Origi there had all the time in the world to see the ball coming and head it home.
Don't think the assistant manager was too impressed, man.
That's a decent ball looking for Tanner, away by Martin Skrtel.
Priceless.
Anorak came in useful, didn't it?
Here's all yours.
Well, we've got 3 minutes to go. 4 goals for Liverpool. We've had just about everything in this game, including the biblical weather that has just made the second half much harder for the players of both sides.
It's made them work more, which, you know, I would privately think Brendan's delighted about that.
The supporters who come here come to see the big name players, the players that they recognise from the television, from watching the Premier League and international teams, and they couldn't have asked for much more than the scorers who got themselves on the score sheet for Liverpool today. Lazar Markovic, Mamadou Sakho, this man Divock Origi and Adam Lallana. And Lallana's off looking for a second hit. He's still got the ball, although he has been penalised for a free kick.
I think if Origi hadn't scored that goal, you know, he'd have just gone for it. He was thinking about it, decided to pass to Lallana. Otherwise, I think he was just making a beeline for the goal. I think that means he disagreed with the decision.
Apologies for anyone who can lip read.
Yeah.
Here
Which in super slow motion is probably 99% of the population.
Lekachai. Liverpool still pressing. And one night in Bangkok has been a successful one. Henderson again. I wants it, I gets it. Milner in the middle. I'm still going. Had a bit of a end of the game feel about it, that little run there.
Yeah. Suggest the referee won't play too much longer.
Certainly wouldn't have done if the heavy rain was still falling.
No.
Well, Jordan Henderson's had his first 45 minutes, as has Nathaniel Klein here in a Liverpool shirt. They've come through it, as you'd expect, against the weaker opposition pretty comfortably.
Yeah, it's also been a good-natured game as well. There's been no really poor challenges, and the referee's given one yellow, but even so.
Well, that's it. Liverpool have completed their first 90 minutes. Divock Origi has got his first goal in a Liverpool shirt. Could have had a hat-trick in truth. It's all smiles for Brendan Rodgers and co. And for the supporters, well, Liverpool have come here and they've managed to turn on a show for them, despite some horrible, horrible weather.
Yeah, and also, I mean, 22 players used, which is great. So, from that point of view, and we've sort of looked and deciphered that certainly the second half team looked a little bit stronger than the first half team. But there's just so many ticks you can give to the majority of the players that you mentioned before as well, the goal scorers as well. For the supporters, it'd be great to see Origi score, Lallana, Markovic and Sakho as well. There's just been some very, very good performances. You've got to forget about the ability or not the ability of the opposition, because you've still got to beat these teams. It's the very first game of the football season as well. There's a long, long way to go until the 9th of August, but I would think when Brendan speaks to us and speaks to the rest of the media, he'll be absolutely delighted with the start that everybody's made. And if anything, you're looking not so much at form, because it's the first game of the season, you're looking at attitude. Overall, though, you're looking at fitness.
Well, Jordan Henderson's getting himself a nice boot and a ball as man of the match. There you go.
That's under-9 Sunday League at Bedlington, isn't it? That is. In fact, you probably get a better trophy at Bedlington.
Well, that's pretty much for his reverse round the back of his legs ball to Adam Lallana for the goal, wasn't it?
I would have thought so.
Busy all afternoon as well.
Very Liverpool, courteous as well, and bowed.
Liverpool's captain, as he is now. Certainly these supporters have taken him to their hearts. And he gets the Man of the Match award, and a little wave for the crowd as well. And now we can have the presentation of the trophy, which Jordan Henderson will go and pick up. Liverpool winning by 4-0 in their first pre-season friendly. And of course, from here it's off to Australia, where it will be warm, bordering on hot.
More competitive.
And certainly with Brisbane and Adelaide, the opposition, it's going to be a couple of games that, certainly as Mark says, it will be tougher than certainly a lot more physicality to it, I think, down there.
Well, what are the Aussies like at Sportsman, we know.
And then, of course, there'll be a game against Malaysia. And then the likes of Helsinki and Swindon to come for Liverpool in pre-season. Well, the Liverpool players are about to receive the True Super Trophy, which is going to be presented to Jordan Henderson. Liverpool winning the game by 4 goals to 0. Markovic, Sacco, Lallana and Divock Origi with the goals. And a little bit of silverware for Jordan Henderson and for Liverpool from a successful night in Bangkok. And it has been a successful night in Bangkok. Good night's work for Liverpool in Bangkok. Decent workout, and despite the inclement weather, it's on now to Australia after their night in Bangkok. Liverpool winning by 4 goals to 0 here and taking home a little bit of silverware with them.